Okay, it's after 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this June 5th, 2003 meeting of the City Council is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV, Cable Channel 2, and are closed captioned for hearing impaired viewers. Please note, some customers of Cox Communication who do not have a cable box may view this meeting on digital channel 89.5. The council meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, which I must add is wonderful, may be viewed on the internet at www, I think I gave you too many W's, .kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m., also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. This building is protected by a state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of the chambers out to the mezzanine and proceed out the double doors to the terrace and down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with our marshal or fire officials for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Street. Employees wearing safety vests or our city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card, which you may complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online in the clerk's office or at the rear of these chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not preclude you from speaking under the public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If there's anyone here today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please see our city clerk staff up front. If you parked in the parking garage across the street and did not receive a validation ticket as you entered chambers, please exit to your right and see the security personnel at the entrance. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise for the invocation given this morning by Pastor Benny Jacques, Victory Outreach, Las Vegas, and please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance.
If I could have everybody please bow their heads and close their eyes. Heavenly Father, we come before you this beautiful morning, God, and Father, as we go forward, my God, as Mayor Goodman, God, and her council goes forward, Lord, this day, as the agenda is put together, Lord, I just pray that you would grant them wisdom, God, understanding, and everything that they need, Father, in order to be able to do, God, what you have called them to do, God, because truly, God, they're your servants, Lord. And I just pray, God, for this entire sessions, God, that is going to take place throughout the day. God, just have your way, my God, in this place. For we ask you this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we will proceed with the ceremonial portion of the morning. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello, trader.
No, we're sharing. She's being shared.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. For our first item, I have the pleasure of recognizing, an outstanding group of employees at the City of Las Vegas, as well as the City of North Las Vegas. I'd like to ask our Detention and Enforcement Chief, Michelle Freeman, and North Las Vegas Police Chief Joseph Chronister to join us at the podium for this presentation, please. Handsome look. Nice uniforms and fresh. Wonderful. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. It is sort of cool, isn't it? I'd also like to recognize North Las Vegas City Manager Tim Hacker, who's in the audience today. Where are you? There. Why don't you come down here and let everybody see your handsome face, too? You know, the president made a comment about a district attorney who was a lady, but I really don't care. When we have our wonderful staff and they're handsome and they're beautiful, that's where we are. Right?
That's right.
Right. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. The Action Team Award recognizes a team of employees that strives to be superheroes in the workplaces, meeting our values of action, which stand for achievement, creativity, teamwork, integrity, and ownership now. The June Action Team is made up of employees from the cities of Las Vegas and North Las Vegas who have worked so well together to bring North Las Vegas inmates into our city jail. This team worked quickly and efficiently to design and implement a transition plan to merge the North Las Vegas jail operations with the city of Las Vegas. A merger of this scale has never been attempted in southern Nevada, but thanks to the hard work of this wonderful group of employees, the merger was completed quickly, on time, and to the benefit of both cities. This is a big, big team, but I'm going to try to call everyone's name, and pardon me if I butcher somebody's. Please come forward and spread out together on either side of the podium here when I call your name, and we'll give everyone a round of applause at the end. And photo ops anytime you can handle the group, and we'll squeeze together at the end, perhaps for one. From our Information Technologies Department, Deanna Wilson. From our Detention and Enforcement Department, we have, and please do come up and you can go either side, Tim Shatler, Benanto Smith, Brandy Jacks, Teresa Skipalis, Nicole Chadwick, Brett Byard, Tracy Valenzuela, Martin, correct, Quintana, Deborah Baldwin, Herman Russell, Caesar Landrove, Emmanuel Avila, Venus Thompson, Daniel Davis. There's nobody left employed in this city. Listen to all of this. Leslie Holmes, Martin Villegas, Rodolfo Padilla, Sharon Meads, Thomas Burke, Abraham Hartman, Jennifer Woods. Don't leave up front. You're going to have a picture. Jennifer Woods, yes, stand in front of all of us. Scott Edwards, Randy Herdzina, Grace Whitlow Jenkins. That's Grace Whitlow Jenkins. Kathleen Henley, Michelle Peter, Darren Cook, Eddie Roybal, Brian Berkman, Sandra Turner, Malcolm Abram, Miguel Chavez, Jacqueline Jackson, Anthony Bruno, Tracy Townsend, Alvin Kennon, Dwayne Tate, Gilbert Shannon. Who's minding the store? Is somebody minding the store?
That's what I asked.
It's on autopilot. Drones. We found a use of drones. John Gerchek, Mark Bunnell, Tiffany Dent, and Carol Friend. And from North Las Vegas, we have Heidi Campbell, Paul Gillenwalter, Carla Stone, Ron Bonvisen, Filippo Liani, and Tony Scott. Wow, what a group. And now how about a big round of applause for these wonderful, wonderful people and great team. The project was a major help to North Las Vegas and our city's budget. And we all know that more services are impacted in North Las Vegas, the more our services will be impacted. So this project really has helped to alleviate pressure on both cities. This is the greatest collaboration. There were times when the process could have become bogged down, but to the team's credit, They kept it moving forward and made it occur. The city of Las Vegas gains more than $6 million annually as part of the agreement to house the North Las Vegas inmates. And at the same time, the city of North Las Vegas saves millions of dollars from this arrangement as well in their annual budget. This team is a great example of how two municipalities may work together to become more efficient and combine services. Congratulations again, and you have all been given a certificate because I heard the commotion behind me. And so we want to give you all a grand round of applause and be happy to hear from Chief Freeman and then from Chief Chronister. What?
Talia Silva.
Talia Silva? How did I miss Talia?
She was trying to sneak out of it.
Oh, an escapee. She didn't want to come up here. But we got you, and you can't hide. Come forward so everybody can see your lovely face. Okay, now, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is an amazing time, amazing opportunity, and I'm surrounded by some incredible people. The professionalism, the fortitude, and their continued dedication to the community is outstanding. I can't tell you how proud I am. I can't tell you all how proud I am, because this is a time that has never happened before. We have two cities that came together to work together for the best efforts of our community, and that's what we have standing around us. And this transition team, if it weren't for these people behind me and to the sides of me, we wouldn't be successful and we wouldn't have the success story that we do today. So I applaud you guys. I can't tell you. Heartfelt thank you from me to each one of you. It's unbelievable what you were able to accomplish and really pave a road that left nothing behind other than people to be admirable and potentially want to follow in your footsteps. So thank you very, very much, each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Freeman. Honorable Mayor and City Council of the City of Las Vegas and residents and all the members up here, I want to thank everybody for this opportunity to stand before you. I think it's kind of interesting, as Chief Freeman mentioned about roads paved. I truly believe this was a page taken out of the book from our public works partners of a design build, because there was a very little bit of time that people had to really try to put things together, and we continue to tweak and change things as we've gone along the way, much like our freeways have been built. And instead of spending 2 years designing something and then building it, we spent literally less than 2 months and continue to build today. But I'm gracious and grateful for this opportunity to have this joint relationship that we have. Like Chief Freeman said, this is one of a kind, and it will only get better from here. And those are the things that truly make me feel comfortable and happy, because when we go, whether formal education or professional education, we talk about effectiveness and efficiency. And these are definitely two items that were put into place here and made this a possibility. And again, thank the City of Las Vegas for the partnership.
Thank you. It shows the leadership in Southern Nevada. I mean, in every area of what we're doing, there's continual leadership, and this is fabulous. It really is. I congratulate you all. And how are we going to take a picture? I think the photographer ran away. Where are you?
They're way in the back.
Okay. Can you get us with a zoom lens? No, you cannot? Oh, that's right. Photoshop. This is the world of technology. You did that already? Did we all get our better sides? Okay. Okay. And David, we need to build. Oh, sorry. David, we need to build like a small stadium outside where it's already recessed step by step, so when we have this wonderful group that we can have a quick photo right outside. David said he will get on it. I know that means poor Jorge Cervantes is going to have to do something from Public Works.
Yeah, come all the way down here. Fill in the blank.
Some people will be in the same photo twice.
Move forward.
She's going to be on both ends of the
No
photo.
offense to you, Frank. Just move forward so we get some tall guys behind you.
So
so
Oh,
it does
yeah,
behind
right.
us,
We
'cause
had,
we're the-
and everybody at that end can come in. There we go.
you look short today.
Come on, we got some more room down here. Seats want to go over?
Good. So is this better?
Yeah, it's gonna be a 3-yard picture.
Okay. Is that Heather? Who's behind that camera? This will be perfect, I know it. Everything at the city's perfect. Thank you all, and we appreciate the collaboration. This is great. Great. Because it has the wrong name. Everybody, it has the name, so
We'll get them all straightened up.
Are those the rest? Good. Okay. Thank you very much. And if not, give us a call. Thank you. Not yours? Okay, how about those?
Give them to Chief Freeman if they're Las Vegas people.
Okay, these are
She can
different.
take
There's
care of
something
that.
different.
Uh-oh,
Okay?
uh-oh.
You better read through them to make sure. Chase is behind you.
Oh, did I hand
Missing
that?
Children's Day.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I gave away mine.
Okay, while we're trying to sort out the difficult task of what we gave away that we shouldn't have, we will proceed on to our next item, which is the exciting time to recognize the winners from the Eldorado Parade. It was a great parade again this year, and we had tens of thousands of people out to watch the parade, attend the rodeo and the carnival. First and foremost, I want to bring up and thank our wonderful parade and event organizer, Esther Carter. Please come up here at the podium wherever you are. This is a lady who works 24/7 and loves her Eldorado, and she brought it back. What year is this for us in the revival?
The parade came back in 2005.
2005, and so every year it just gets better, and it's fabulous. And she has really worked on it from one year to the next. She's already been planning next year's event. So we have awards, and I want to call out the winners. If you are here, we ask that you come up to the podium, please, to be given your award. And we'll hold our applause until everyone's here. For the best walking group, Fiesta Morlense. Come on, walking group. Congratulations. And our best marching band, I don't see the high school in here. Coronado High School. Last day of school, it's probably graduation and finals. So good. This is Coronado High School. So do we have the principal? Do we have a representative? We will make sure it gets there. No Coronado. The best vehicle was the 9/11 remembrance entry. And that was fabulous. And we have a representative for that 9/11 remembrance. Wonderful. Absolutely fabulous. The best equestrian entry was Sandy Valley Ranch and Dock Saddlery. They're not here. The best float was the Bonnie Springs Ranch entry. All right. Yay. Way to go. Wonderful. I love it. Love it.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? Thank you.
The best overall theme came from our very own Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Yay. Come on up, all of you that worked on that. I love that float. Pictures of the history of Las Vegas and downtown, everything. It was simply fabulous. And I understand that it had lights for nighttime. So this wonderful team, you made it happen. It was a beautiful float. I'm very proud. The most creative was the entry from the Pirate Fest. Do we have representatives from the Pirate Fest? No. Okay. And the overall best of Eldorado winner was Danza del Carrizo. Are they here? Yes. Come on down. Congratulations. And I have to tell you, Esther was out there wrangling all these entries and keeping the parade moving. So I'd like to ask her to say a few words, because I know how important this was. And who is this beautiful little girl?
That's my little girl.
And her name? Congratulations.
Her name is Anna Lee.
Anna Lee. Anna Lee, I have for you, congratulations. We're so proud of you. Esther, yours?
Well, I want to thank all of the parade participants. They spend months actually working on their parade entries and getting everything together, and it kind of becomes my little family with all of the entries. I love every one of them. I'm always excited to see who the judges pick as our winners. And it's just something that is growing more and more every year, so I look forward to doing the parade next year. And just so everybody knows, it's Nevada State's 150th celebration, so we're really going to blow Eldorado out next year. It's going to be one of their big signature events. So I'm excited again. Thank you guys all for all of your hard work with the parade, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you.
And thank you, Esther, and your team. I know you didn't do it alone. You've got a great staff working with you. So congratulations. Start thinking about your entry for next year. Right? Fabulous. Have you won 4 years in a row?
Yeah, you guys have. Good you.
Wait a minute. How do we have such juices to win 4 years in a row?
If you look at their entry and what these guys do, they're above and beyond. They're great.
Next year, too, we need pictures.
Yes.
So everybody can see them, what your float was, what the entry was, what the walk was, all of that. So congratulations.
20 years they have been dancing and promoting the traditional Mexican dance of matachines for 20 years. And this is the lady who initiated, and her sons.
Congratulations. And granddaughter, future generation, and beautiful cowboy boots. So congratulations. We're very, very grateful for your participation and thrilled that you keep winning. Always the best. Go for it. High standards. Thank you. And for our final item this morning, Councilman Ross is going to remind us all to be vigilant when it comes to our children. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll just have you know, Mayor, that I actually voted for you as best overall in the parade, your pink Cadillac with Elvis Presley, which didn't start. And then Councilman Beers, you were my second choice, playing banjo on Big Red. So that was a lot of fun. No one could hear him. Well, in 1983, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed May 25th as National Missing Children's Day. Each administration since has honored this annual reminder to the nation to renew efforts to reunite missing children with their families and make child protection a national priority. National Missing Children's Day honors this commitment by reminding parents, guardians, and other trusted adult role models to make child safety a priority. This day is also a reminder to all parents and guardians of the need for high-quality photographs of your children for use in case of an emergency, and for the need for everyone to pay close attention to those posters and photographs of missing children. In 2000, Attorney General Eric Holder, serving as Deputy Attorney General, presented the first annual National Missing Children's Day Poster Contest award at the Department of Justice Missing Children's Day Observance. Each year, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention conducts a national poster contest for fifth graders to bring greater awareness to the issue of missing children. The poster contest is designed to increase awareness about the danger of abduction of children while providing an opportunity for organizations to engage in children, their parents, in informative discussions about safety and prevention. The theme for this year's poster contest is Bring Our Children Home, Bring Our Missing Children Home. Students were asked to design and draw a poster that reflects the theme and complete an application describing the importance of the theme. Each state holds its own poster competition. At this time, I would like to announce this year's winners of the Nevada Child Seekers Poster Contest and tell you a little bit about their posters. But before I do that, I want to invite Yvette Santiago to come up here from Nevada Child Seekers and be with me as we present these awards. Craig Hammond, who is a fifth grader from Frank Lamping Elementary School, was selected as the first place winner in the Missing Children's Day Poster Contest. Craig was also the runner-up at the national contest, and his teacher is Mr. Knutson. Do we have that poster up yet? Is it up? There it is. All right. I'm going to tell you how Craig describes his poster. My poster depicts bravery, justice, and hope. The Lady Liberty represents justice and shines her torch to direct the bald eagle. The eagle with yellow glow of strength represents our brave law enforcement force. It puts the outlaws in jail at the dark corner. The outlaws' red eyes represent their heartlessness to harm the children, and their colorless faces represents they could be anyone. The smiling United States map with the flag represents our country with hope. The children embraced by hope are in their pajamas because they feel safe. The blue waves around the map represent our influence in the world. Give Craig Hammond a great big round of applause. He's not feeling well today, so I hope he's watching this at home on KCLV Channel 2. And you're going to help me out, right? You're going to do okay. The second place winner, make sure I get this right, Shade McQuay, a fifth grader from Dooley Elementary School, was selected as the second place winner for the Nevada Missing Children's Day poster contest, and her teacher was Mrs. Sellinger. Shade, come on up here, young lady. You're going to talk about this poster. Where's your poster? Is that it right there? Okay. Can you tell everybody about it?
The reason why I choose this theme, I feel like we all need to come together and bring our missing children home. And since we are home of the bravery, I added alien in a spaceship, a figure don't be scared of the aliens and just let them help you too. So let's all come together as soon bring our missing children home. Thank you.
All right, give her a round of applause. And the certificate, that's for you, young lady. Aren't these great kids? You stay right up here with us, okay? Now, all the way, hailing from Virgin Valley Elementary School, Jesse Williamson, a fifth grader from Virgin Valley Elementary School, was selected as the third place winner for the Nevada Missing Children's Poster Contest. Jesse, come on up here. Teacher was Mr. Allen. All right, you ready? You going to tell us about your poster?
Yes. My poster includes the American flag, and instead of stars, there's broken hearts. This symbolizes the parents of missing children's hearts. There's a very creative heart to show the hearts of the parents that did find their kids. The drawing of the mother and daughter holding hands shows the bond between the child and her mother. I also included the words, "You belong home," because the missing children belong home with their loving families.
All right, give her a round of applause for that. And I think I have your certificate here, young lady. And that's for you, a nice certificate of accomplishment. And Yvette, I'm going to give Mr. Hammonds to you. And Yvette, come on over here too, Yvette, if you would, for me, please. As I mentioned before, each state holds its own poster competition, and the winning poster from each state is submitted by the state poster contest manager to the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention for selection of the national winner. With us today, of course, is Yvette Santiago, the Executive Director of Nevada Child Seekers, and I'd like to say a few words about our program and how important this is.
Thank you, Councilman Ross. Absolutely. Our organization, our mission is to engage in prevention efforts and identification efforts on behalf of missing and exploited children and in our entire state. And therefore, this program just signifies that in that we function as an organization, we hold on to hope. Just like the girls in Ohio were found, we are also hopeful that we will find our missing children. And so this poster, we're very happy that our fifth graders are engaged across the state. This year we had over 230 entries from Reno, Elko, Laughlin, all over. And it was very difficult to choose the winning posters, but these were our posters, and we were just very impressed with our children's creativity, and it just signifies that for us as a community and as a state to be hopeful and to help us in location efforts on behalf of missing children and for our families. So thank you.
Thank you, Yvette. Thank you. Give her a round of applause for that. She's Her team works tirelessly. I'm going to mention a few names: Genesis Vasquez, Operations Manager; Sonia Lucero, Robin Haddad, and Carol Steinbeck all work for Nevada Child Seekers. We, the mayor and the city council of the city of Las Vegas, in an effort to raise awareness for the many missing children in our community, do hereby proclaim June 5th National Missing Children's Day in the city of Las Vegas and encourage our citizens to make every effort possible to assist finding our missing children and educating our own children the importance of being safe and aware of your surroundings. Yvette, thank you very much for all you do. Kids, you did a great job. Congratulations.
That was our final item, and because it is, could we all, council, please stand with them so they can have a picture? I think it would be nice if we could give one to each of the students.
And Craig, if Craig's watching at home and his family, Craig Hammond's winning poster is on the proclamation, so I think that was appropriate.
Wonderful.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. That's yours.
That was second runner-up. Second runner-up nationally.
Okay. We will go right into our next agenda item. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm the Lone Ranger here. I have 2 walking council persons, which is great. They're instructed by their spouses and by their physicians, walk, walk, walk. And actually, we have the Mayor's Health Initiative. We walk in this chamber every single Monday for at least a half an hour. We should probably do it every day. But we were going right into it, so I'm just counting. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we are on agenda item number 9. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. We will set the time at 1 minute. Okay, hearing and seeing none, we will move on to agenda item 10. For possible action, any items that the council staff and/or applicant wish to be stricken, tabled, withdrawn, or held in advance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Councilwoman Tarkanian. Yes, where this is the, this sheet, this one. Okay.
Well, then I will read these for you.
Yes, for the morning agenda, which goes until only the morning, and we do it again for the afternoon.
Right, all right. On the consent agenda, item number 14, the case was reimbursement of Neighborhood Stabilization Program, and that's obeyed to 619, requested by staff.
Excuse me?
Item number 55, which was a protest of a request for proposal and award of contract number 130052BR, is stricken, requested by staff. Item number 56, which is award contract number 130052BR, is requested by staff to be stricken. Item number 57, second-hand dealer Class 2 license, is to be stricken, requested by staff. Item number 63, bill number 213-24, will be obeyed to June 19th, requested by Councilman Beers.
Okay, so would that be your motion then?
That's the motion.
Thank you. There is a motion, please vote, and please post. That motion carries. Okay, thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 11 for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference to the regular city council meeting on May 15th, 2013. May I have a motion to approve those minutes, please?
Move to approve the minutes.
Thank you very much. There's a motion to approve. Please vote and please post. And that motion carries. Thank you very much. And now, I do want to mention, though, that Mayor Pro Tem Anthony is out of the country and granted leave from this meeting. We will now move on to the consent agenda. Items 12 through 53 on the consent agenda are considered to be routine or recommended for approval by the departments and may be enacted in one motion. Are there any items the council wishes to bring forward? Councilman Ross.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to pull forward agenda item 19, please.
So done. Anyone else?
Was that 18 or 19?
19.
19,
Councilwoman.
thank you. I would like to say, before we make a motion on the consent agenda, that item number 28 has a correction to the contract number. It should read 110006. And item number 49 has a correction to the store number. It should read 12641. Thank you.
And therefore, let's vote on those without, we're going to pull forward 19. Can we have a motion with your corrections then
We
on
would
the
have
consent?
the motion is to approve the consent agenda with the removal of item number 19 and with the correction as has been stated, the two corrections.
Okay, and that's your motion?
That's the motion.
Thank you very much. There's a motion. Please vote. And please post. Thank you. That motion carries. And now, agenda item in the consent of 19. Okay. For possible action to reject the lowest bidder as non-responsive, approve award to the best bidder of bid number 130158-TG, replacement and installation of synthetic grass surfacing located at Charlie Kellogg and Joe Zaire Sports Complex, 7901 West Washington Avenue, and other future locations around the city. Department of Operations and Maintenance. Award recommended to General Acrylics, Inc., not to exceed $1,500,000, general fund, and this is in all wards. Councilman Ross?
Thank you, Mayor, for pulling this item forward. I just want to place on the record that I don't feel that purchasing went in the right direction with this as a maintenance project. I feel that this is actually a construction project, a removal and replacement of 2 fields, actually going to be 5 fields from what I understand. So I just want to put that on the record and voice my opposition to it, and I'd like Betsy to kind of say a few words.
Mayor, members of the council, there's been a bit of discussion over the last several days about these types of projects, and so as a matter of policy, what we'd like to do going forward is when we bid similar projects that we bid them under 338 or under NRS 332 with a prevailing wage component, and I think that'll address the concerns that the councilman has.
And I accept that, Mayor.
Okay, so would you like to make a motion on agenda item 19?
I'm going to vote no, Mayor, so it would be inappropriate.
Someone then, Councilwoman, if you would.
Just note the objection?
No, just go ahead and make a motion.
Oh,
To
I'll make the
approve.
motion, and then you're going to vote no. Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to make it separately. All right. Move to approve the consent agenda items excluding 19. No, including 19.
This is just the loan on 19.
Oh, just
We
the
did
19.
the others to go
Okay,
ahead and approve.
Move to approve number 19.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote, and please post. And that motion does carry. Thank you very much. And we will now move on to item 54. I always look at our clerk to make sure I'm on the right number, yes? Okay, this is administrative. Discussion for possible action regarding agreement between the City of Las Vegas Public Education Foundation for the purpose of implementing literacy liftoff program for the students in Rex Bell Elementary and Matt Kelly Elementary Schools for the 2013-2014 and 2014-2015 school years. These are in wards 1 and 5, Councilwoman Tarkanian, Councilman Barlow's wards. Hopefully, as you introduce yourself and we can see, is there a map where we can see where these schools are located, please? And good morning, Mr. Knudsen.
Good morning, Mayor, members of the City Council. Brian Knudsen, Office of Administrative Services. About a year and a half ago, the City Council adopted a community pride priority with focus areas in third grade literacy and high school graduation. Since that time, the staff have been working very closely with the Mayor and Councilwoman Tarkanian and representatives from the Clark County School District and a variety of other organizations to demonstrate that we can show improvement in the academic progress of schools within the inner city. We focused on the inner city primarily because of the academic scores, the difference between inner city Las Vegas schools, primarily those in wards 1, 3, and 5, and the suburban schools. Since that time, we've really garnered quite a bit of support, encouragement from both the school district and several community partners, all of which are now focused on demonstrating that academic improvement is possible within these Las Vegas inner city schools. One of the partners that we've been focusing on here at the City of Las Vegas is with the Public Education Foundation. Last year's Literacy Liftoff program showed some pretty promising results in Matt Kelly and Rex Bell elementary schools, and we're putting forward a contract with the Public Education Foundation for an additional 2 years for the Literacy Liftoff program. To talk more about the progress from last year and some of the enhancements and improvements for this year is Judy Steele with the Public Education Foundation.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mayor and council members. My name is Judy Steele. I'm with the Public Education Foundation, and we're very excited about the possibilities of this program and the partnership with the city and other community entities. In last year, first I'd like to introduce our staff who will be speaking or available to speak with you. I have Dr. Beverly Mathis, who's the director of our Literacy Liftoff Initiative and Clark County Reads for the Public Education Foundation, and she's a retired Clark County School District principal. Sue Dallenbach, she is our assessment and accountability consultant, and she's a retired assistant superintendent from the Clark County School District, has great expertise in the area of assessment and evaluation. The principal, Patricia Harris, should be here in a little bit from Matt Kelly. Hergie Yenis, and she is our coordinator of our Family Literacy Initiative, and Sherry Walker, who is our grant director of our grants department. We're very excited about having had the opportunity last year to look at early childhood education. We all recognize that the three partners that we've been able to start synergies with was the city, Three Square, and the Clark County School District. And we identified two schools, Rex Bell and Matt Kelly, in great need of assistance in terms of family engagement, family involvement, language development, and literacy. And our main goal is to reduce the disparity in literacy outcomes between the children attending underperforming schools within the city and those five-star schools that are achieving. And we identified the sites collaboratively with the school district and the city and our staff. We had 96 children involved, and I have to tell you, we had a very short window of opportunity to get started. We went door to door and we engaged families. And so the families brought their children to the school for 3 intense weeks in August, so we got little babies more ready for school. And we did language development, experiential, how do you line up, how do you feel comfortable, gave them books, did a lot of speaking with them, and we were very excited about the use of the Voyager program, and we had a licensed teacher involved with all the youngsters. And we not only had 3 intensive weeks, but then we identified time after school during the year through November. So we gave them a leap or a jump start, if you will, in terms of really focusing on learning. We have Sue Dellenbach, who's going to talk with you about the results. We are very excited in a very short period of time about what we identified. One of the challenges was attendance. The students that basically didn't come all the time didn't make as much growth, obviously. And so we are working, and you'll hear about that in a little bit, to improve attendance and family engagement in our second iteration. So Sue Dellenbach will join you now.
Thank you.
Good morning. We just showed
And if you would repeat your name for us.
I
Thank you.
apologize. I'm Sue Dellenbach. The two charts that are on the screen right now are just examples of the growth we saw in the students that were assisted in the Literacy Liftoff program. The first one is Ames Web results, and we only have fall and winter. As you know, school just got out today, so the final end-of-year tests are not back. But these students are well on track to be in their target area on peer level where they should be. We're hoping for that. Some did better than others, but all showed gains pretty much. Not every class did that, but some were greater and some were a little less. But it did show results for students that had great needs. So if you have any questions about those results, I'd be happy to answer those.
Yes, Councilman Beers, please.
Thanks, Your Honor. I guess I need a little bit of explanation on the labeling of the bars.
Right, okay. The numbers underneath are our student identifier numbers, so we don't use student names.
Okay.
And the target range for the Ames Web assessment, which is a pre-reading skills, phonetics, that sort of thing, for the January is 40 to 64 points is an average range to be on grade level. On the bottom one, that's a literacy launch into teaching. That's the Common Core standards for first graders, and they take the same different versions of the same test all year long, and so you can measure growth throughout the year. The maximum number of points on that test is 1620.
So I guess what I'm looking for is a comparison of the children who went through the Literacy Liftoff program against a control group that did not. Is that here?
No, that is not on this. Well, you can see the class overall on the far right. You can see where that class average is, if that helps.
So this compares the beginning and the first and second semester or the beginning and the end of the year for individual students.
Right. We don't have the very end of the year yet because they just got out and those results are not.
Did you do any comparability, or did you do any looking at a control group that didn't go through the Literacy Liftoff program to see? Because I'm trying to isolate the impact of this Literacy Liftoff program.
Right, and we did a class average, but I do not have a specific control group, but we could probably pull those together for you.
Okay,
if you'd
thank
like
you.
to see them.
Thanks.
And
Councilman,
I don't know
think
if
she
you
did
address in
recognize-
this, are these children coming in with English as a second language? And the identity in both groups at Matt Kelly and at Rex Bell, what is the population basically?
Dr. Mathis is more familiar with the exact makeup of those schools. I'll let her answer your question.
Thank you.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Beverly Mathis. The population at Matt Kelly is predominantly African American. The population at Rex Bell is predominantly second language. It's Hispanic population.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Somebody was, did I hear your voice?
I didn't mean to interrupt, Mayor. I
Okay.
just thought, to Councilman Beer's point, there are some, there may not be a control group, but there are averages of performance and ranges of performance that might illustrate where you want these students to perform in these metrics. And so if you look at the class average, then you can see how the class was performing against the average and where they ended up performing against the average. And if I remember correctly, you said in the top bracket, it was 40 was where you wanted them to be. So they, against that norm, if you will, you improved nearly 25 points to get to the average, and these guys improved about 15 points. So you're still below where you want them to be, but much improved over where they started. Is
But
that a
as
safe-
we work, which is
safe
reflective,
assumption?
I think, of what's happening across the country in inner city schools and has been indicative for decades. When you look at the top chart and you look at students, the long number ending at 37 and 77 and 28 on the top chart, I don't know, because I know your time, all of you, I mean, you are doing so much in this area, and it's so exciting and so wonderful to know why those three students in particular, what were the extra, I mean, are you able to find the time to find out what are the issues with those children when they started off in comparison to the other students who might be a 19 to start off, or 25 or 22, whatever? Do we have any comparisons in that which help us really zone in on those specifics as we go forward?
Is the question, have we identified the most students in need to get started?
And what are those characteristics?
So I would say to you that last year when we got started, we found the youngsters who would come because we had like a 6-week window. So I want you to, so that's why the staff is, all the students at Rex Bell and most of the students at Matt Kelly are behind, very behind. The general population is. And so this year they can tell you in the new program how we're going to identify youngsters, because we're going to be looking for families that are willing to commit to come in and participate. And we feel that we can get a much larger bang for our dollar, and also teach families how to be learning partners so that it grows with younger children than learning and learning and learning. So the whole population, we would say, we didn't identify just the most needy. We feel most of the children in those schools are in need of language growth and development.
Well, it's remarkable to me, looking at number 428, that student growing from a 5 to a 41. And so what was the cause of him or her coming in at that assessment level? And I know it's just you have so much time and you have to prioritize what you're doing. But I think it's phenomenally exciting, and I'm sure you're going to find this true across the country and inner cities, which, you know, I mean, you know all the things that are so incredible that you have been doing this year. And as you plan into this 2-year contract to keep moving forward, it is simply, it's again leadership of what we're doing, and that we're able to do it, and we have the talented and experienced professionals helping us. It's just simply incredible. I don't know, any questions from council here? Councilwoman?
Getting back to your number 8428, the fourth from the left, what is it, do you know what it was exactly that motivated this youngster or helped this youngster to move so high?
I'm from Matt Kelly, and these are Rex Bell students, so I wouldn't be able
All
to
right,
address
then,
that. But I
Beverly.
can make an assumption as to why. Most of the time, it's because students haven't had any pre-K experience, and there isn't a lot of vocabulary development going on in the home. Kids do a lot of electronic games, but there really isn't any discussion with parents. Most of the time at that age, students are asking why, and parents are go, because they don't want to be bothered. They don't realize that that window is very key in the student's development to be able to be literate. And so in this instance, it could have been that there was a limited amount of conversation going on in the home, but then it was tripled or quadrupled by being at school, being with their peers, and also being involved in a program where it's teaching children to identify letters and letter sounds. And so in that instance, I would be able to broadly state that with all the students in our building who participated in the program, they didn't have an awareness of letter names and letter sounds. And then by being in this program, they were able to grasp those concepts and ask those questions and have them answered, and therefore they made progress.
And with the parent, if I may, Councilwoman, and working with the parents, so they were
Exactly.
involved in the entire process.
Because what parents are going to tell you all the time, they keep bugging me, and we try to explain to them, this is a pivotal time in their years, their learning years. They're asking why, not because they want to hear your voice, but because they want to know, they want to make connections. And then the program was able to help them to appreciate that when they ask this kind of a question, this is the kind of answer that will lead to another question that leads to another answer to another question, but that it's all programmed to help with vocabulary development, which helps with literacy.
I recall when Councilwoman and I were at Rex Bell, the parents were obviously not English speaking.
Exactly.
And so it was just like looking across at parents who wanted to be involved and help. They came, great attendance by the parents, but absolutely didn't understand anything. What is the future plan for the parent?
And we do have that plan in place. We have now, with our staff, we have Hergie. Hergie will be working with our families. Hergie is a Hispanic young lady who is working with family engagement through the Public Education Foundation. And
So
thank you.
basically-
Another reason would definitely be we had the opportunity to have the small classes and direct instruction for each one of our children.
Fabulous. It's wonderful.
So Brian has asked me to wrap this up in a very short period of
Is that
time.
what
but we wanna
Brian's
just review-
asking?
Excuse me?
Is that what he's asking? He wants the council to wrap this up?
Me.
Oh, you to wrap it up. Oh, okay.
I
He's
apologize.
picking
No,
on you.
I
Okay.
apologize. He said you have a lot of important work to do, and that we only had a
This is
small...
the most important. You know that, Mr. Knutson.
I'm sorry. Oh, I don't want to...
But it's all right. We have to move on. You're right.
Sorry. So what we learned was that we have some materials that really can work, but we absolutely recognize we should be looking to more focus on 4-year-olds. So this new program will be focusing on 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, and not
First grade.
in a much stronger emphasis than we did before. And therefore, we'll be doing 3 classes at each site. And we are weaving in our family literacy initiative that Hergie has been leading this last year at several other schools, and that will engage families who do not speak English well or at all, and help them learn to navigate and work within the school, get more familiar with the school, and learn how to become better reading teaching partners with children. And so we've put up for you a slide that shows what we'll be doing next year. And we really are encouraged by your commitment to this process. We are excited about Brian's leadership in getting Clark County School District and other entities together so that we are engaged in a teaming of effort to focus in and to demonstrate that we can make a difference in city schools, and that the collective team impact is the future, and we're proud to be part of that.
It's a wonderful partnership, and I know that Mr. Knutson's passion is in this area, and does not sleep at all. Since he first undertook this, he doesn't sleep anymore because his passion's so strong and he's done so much. And absolutely, 4-year-olds is where you start, and kindergarten. Almost in first grade, it's all the bad things are already in place. So to the future, hopefully the 4-year-olds with certain early dates for birth dates and kindergarten. I think it's wonderful.
And I just want to say congratulations to you all, Brian, and all of you ladies for the hard work you've done.
Fabulous. Congratulations. Thank you for the report. Wonderful. So exciting. We're here to help. Thank you. And thank you. Councilwoman Tarkanian's been so instrumental in this and so passionate for her whole life here in Nevada, and probably before that.
Yeah.
You did come from somewhere else, I know. Fresno?
Huntington Beach. and
Huntington
Long
Beach. So you're in a better place. Thank you very, very much. Do we need to accept the report? May I have a motion to accept the report, please?
Move to accept the report.
Actually, you're approving the agreement.
We're approving the two-year
Right,
agreement?
I will move to accept the report and also to approve the agreement.
Thank
Good
you
luck
very
for the
much.
next year.
Thank you. We're very excited. There's a motion. Please vote and please post. And that motion, of course, carries. Thank you all so very much. And we will move on to, well, no, we won't, because items 56, 55, 56, and 50, we move on. 55 and 56 are stricken. We move on to planning. Number 57 has been stricken. We move on to boards and commissions, which is discussion for this is item 58, for discussion for possible action of appointments of council members to various City of Las Vegas and other jurisdictional boards, commissions, and authorities. That, my motion, therefore, is that, as far as I understand, where we are is on the audit committee. That's the next item. So it is just my motion to open the discussion.
Do you have any changes to make to the existing list?
Only that Councilman Ross has said that he did not want to be reappointed to the audit committee because of time commitments in his other committees.
Okay, that's the next item.
Okay.
So if there's no changes to this, then there would be
Okay.
no need to make a motion.
Pardon?
I
Strike
would
it.
recommend when you strike this.
Okay. Thank you.
So we move to strike this motion,
It just is.
this item.
We move on to 59.
Well, we
Your
have.
Honor?
Vote on the strike.
I would move that we strike this item.
Thank you very much, Councilman
just
Beers.
said that.
It's all right. We have two motions to strike. Number 58. Okay. There's a motion. There it is. Please vote on the motion to strike, and please post.
Oh, I thought I had pressed that.
And please post. That motion carries. We'll move on to 59. For possible action, the Audit Oversight Committee, Councilman Steve D. Ross, whose term expires this month at 2/13, has indicated because of other commitments and other committee assignments, he requests not to be reappointed to this, and Councilman Bob Coffin has offered to be appointed to this committee. So with that in mind, my recommendation, motion is to appoint Councilman Bob Coffin, Ward 3, to the Audit Committee.
All right, that's your motion.
That is my motion. And so please vote and please post. For item 60, for possible action, Planning Commission, Richard Bonar, Gus Flangus, and Todd L. Moody, their terms expire June of 2013. Council Anthony wishes to reappoint Mr. Flangus, which is my understanding. Is that correct, Councilman? Okay, Councilman Ross is acting in his behalf and indicates, yes, that is the wish of Mayor Pro Tem. Councilman Beers wishes to reappoint Mr. Bonar. He does. And Councilman Ross does wish to reappoint Mr. Moody, or a new member?
I do. Commissioner Todd Moody.
You do. Okay. So all of those three would, it's a motion to reappoint those three members.
That's the motion.
Please. And so there's a motion to reappoint the three members, Richard Bonar, Gus Flangus, and Todd L. Moody. And please vote, and please post. And thank you, that motion carries. And we will move on to item 61 for possible action. Senior Citizens Advisory Board, that's Betty Evans, Mel Henkin, and Mickey Lee Moore. Their terms also expire of June 2013. Councilman Beers to make a new appointment to replace Ms. Evans, Councilman Anthony, and in his place, Councilman Ross to reappoint Mr. Henkin or a new member, and Councilman Ross for himself to reappoint Mr. Moore or a new member. So let's start with Councilman Beers.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to reappoint Betty Evans. The issue here is that there's an 8-year term limit in our ordinance, and she has served for about 7. So she would be eligible to serve 1 more year. I'd like to reappoint her to the next term. In the next year, the City Council may want to entertain extending term limits for service on this board to perhaps 3 terms and 12 years, which would be the same as the term limits that we all face on the council. And if we were to do that, then she would be able to continue filling the remainder of this 4-year term that I'm trying to appoint her to right now.
But at this
if we
time,
don't,
your
then-
motion is to reappoint her.
Correct.
At this point, she serves 1 year, at which point
I'm
we
reappointing
could
her
deal
to a
with
next
that.
term, and she would have to step down after 1 year to
Okay.
comply with our term
So that
limits.
would be the motion. Let's just take that by itself, if that's all right. Council?
I think you can take them all at the same time. I think with that record made, as an operational
Right.
law, Ms. Evans will be off in a year if the law isn't changed. So
Correct.
we're putting Ms. Evans knowing that that's the reality, and then we go to the next
Great.
two.
But my
and then one
sense
motion.
was to separate the issues of changing the ordinance of service and everything, just the appointment, but we do know this will just be for the 1 year under the eight-year term limit.
That's correct.
Okay, and Councilman Ross for Mayor Pro Tem Anthony, will you do that one, then do yours for yourself?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor
please?
Pro Tem Anthony wishes to reappoint Mel Henkin as his representative on the Senior Citizens Advisory Board, as I also would like to reappoint Mickey Lee Moore in that capacity as well.
Therefore, we have a motion to reappoint Betty Evans, Mel Henkin, or I'm going to make the motion, Mel Henkin and Mickey Lee Moore to their Senior Citizen Advisory Board positions. Please vote, and please post. And please post. Thank you, and that motion carries. Thank you. And now we will move on to item number 62, recommending committee bill eligible for adoption at this meeting, bill number 2013-23. Councilman Barlow, do you wish to have the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Mayor. Bill number 2013-23, in order to change the billing and payment of sewer service charges from annual basis to quarterly basis, increase the fee for releasing a sewer lien, and provide for other related matters.
Move for approval.
Thank you very much. There's a motion. Please vote. And please post. That motion carries. Item number 63 has been obeyed to the next meeting, June 19th. And then we will move on to new bills. Item 64. Item 64 through 666, bills number 2013-25 through 2013-27 will be heard at recommending committee on Tuesday, June 18th, 2013. City Attorney, would you please read the new bills?
I'll be happy to honor Bill number 2013-25, an ordinance to amend the Downtown Centennial Plan to authorize tavern limited establishments within the Arts District and the Parkway Center District and provide for related matters. Bill number 2013-26, an ordinance to provide express authority for taverns located along a pedestrian mall to sell alcoholic beverage through a walk-up window under certain circumstances and provide for other related matters. And finally, Bill number 2013-27, an ordinance to amend the Unified Development Code to decrease the minimum width for the R1 district from 65 feet to 60 feet and provide for other related matters.
Thank you very much. I'm wondering, does anybody know, when does Mayor Pro Tem return? Okay, so then what I'd like to ask on these bills to assign council members Barlow and Coffin, and Councilwoman Tarkanian, would you sit on the recommending for the 18th? Yes. If Mayor Pro Tem is not back. Thank you. That would be my assignment. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item number 67. This is EOT 49069, non-public hearing. Applicant, Drive Time Car Sales Company, LLC. Owner, DTWFSPEI, LLC, for possible action on a request for an extension of time of an approved special use permit, SUP 4115, for proposed auto repair garage, major use at 2301 McLeod. This is C2 General Commercial Zone, and it is in Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. Staff recommends approval, and you are the applicant?
I am the architect for the project, and I'm appearing on behalf of Drive Time.
Okay, thank you. And your name, please?
My name is Randy Barnes with RBA Architecture.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Fagg, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
So would you like to make a report on this first?
Just very briefly, the Drive Time dealership was approved in their current location on East Sahara in 2011. As part of that application, they requested approval for a car repair facility to repair the vehicles that they prepare for sale. They have not completed the improvements to that specific building yet and are requesting additional time in order to do that. And staff has recommended approval of this request.
Okay. And any comments you'd like to make? Anything other than?
Only to say that they have started construction and they expect to be done within the month.
Within the month, wonderful. Any council comments? Okay, then Councilman Coffin?
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to reconfirm the conditions include the noise control, the usual and customary for major repair. Noise control for the residential area, which is not too far behind the area. I guess Architect Barnes, you confident that we won't have any complaints?
Yeah, I'm confident.
All right. Do we have to add any additional? I know it's just an EOT, but
correct.
I want to keep an eye on anything like that.
Certainly. We have standards in our code relative to auto repair, and so they will be subject to the language that we already have existing in code. So no additional conditions of approval are needed.
Okay. I know this is going to be a clean-looking operation. That end of Sahara is really coming back, and so we appreciate filling that empty building over there, getting it going again. Thank you. And I will now move for approval of item 67.
Thank you very much. This motion, please vote and please post. Thank you. That motion carries.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, item 68. SUP 48035, request for a special use permit for a proposed nightclub within an existing 5,775 square foot restaurant, and 69 SUP 48036, request for a special use permit for a proposed supper club within an existing 5,775 square foot restaurant. The applicant is Hookah Masters Lounge, owner Charleston Marketplace, Malkai LLC at 5900 West Charleston Boulevard, Suite 8. These items are in abeyance. Planning Commission and staff recommend approval on both items. Both items are C1 limited commercial zone. These items are in Ward 1 in Councilwoman Tarkanian's ward and are public hearings which I now declare open. Is the applicant present? If so, please state your name.
Good morning, Sarkisar Shakuni,
Good morning.
5900 West Charles.
Thank you very much. And again, Mr. Fagg, please.
Madam Mayor, you have two applications before you this morning. The first is a special use permit for a nightclub for the existing business, and then the second is a special use permit for a supper club. Please note that you'll be considering these applications separately, as there is a separate special use permit required for both of those. You have our staff recommendations in the staff report, and with that, I will turn that back to you all if you need any additional information from the applicant or if you wish to discuss as council.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilwoman?
Would it be possible to take 69 before 68?
Any problem?
Any problem with anybody?
Okay.
I then would like to take number 69 first, which is a special use permit for a supper club. And I move to approve that item. You'll be able to offer alcohol in conjunction with meals or at a bar area with a buffer to prevent access by minors. However, the food sales are the principal portion of the business and must exceed alcohol sales or hookah-related sales. In addition, there will be restrictions by any health district requirements regarding smoking and food service, and you're aware of that. So I move to approve item number 69.
Thank you. Any questions, comments here? Okay, please vote. There's a motion. And please post. Item 59 carries, so let's go back to item 58.
58 is a more complicated situation, and I have worked with others extensively in trying out to find out all the information that I can. The nightclub use is a little bit of a problem, or maybe could be a larger one even. But anyway, the property is located immediately adjacent to residential uses. And a nightclub use has the potential to impact residential properties. The impacts include the hours of operation, the noise from the music, the noise from the parking lot area, and secondary impacts from alcohol service. Nightclubs are also inappropriate in areas where minors are present, schools and parks and things like that. In that area, in the past, I've been very careful in approving or disapproving items which might be non-conducive to appropriate behavior by minors, and that is because the college across the street has a high school on it. It has a high school on it. Right down the street, you have Bonanza, and then you have several other schools and activities in the area, but those two are very close. The licensing compliance section has received, I spoke with the licensing people, the following complaints from citizens. On July 18th, 2012, a complaint was received via email that the restaurant is operating a nightclub. On September 12th, a complaint was received via email that the business was allowing 18 and 19-year-old patrons in a nightclub environment. On December 14th, a complaint was received via email regarding an advertised event targeting minors. And on December 26, 2012, a complaint was received via email regarding improper licensing of the business. Because of my concern of the mixing of the nightclub with the supper club at this time, and because of the reasons I've already noted, I would move to deny the nightclub aspect of this item, number 68.
Question, if we may?
Yeah.
What can they do in appeal to you? Is there any open door there so they can come back to you after having complied with X, Y, and Z?
Maybe after they have the supper club operating for a while, they could come back. But if that's the case, then we better not vote on this, because my understanding is that it would hold it off.
Mayor, with your permission.
Please,
Councilwoman,
Councilman Ross.
Mr. Fagg, would it be more appropriate for the applicant to request to withdraw without prejudice so he can bring it back at a later time?
Madam Mayor, through you, in response to the question, if a special use permit is denied, there is a period of time where the applicant must wait before reapplying. That period is shortened if they withdraw the application without prejudice. So it would be beneficial to the applicant if this application is going to be denied to withdraw without prejudice, which gives them a shorter period in which they may reapply for the nightclub use.
So you understand what they're saying is if you would withdraw without prejudice, you would have a chance to bring it back sooner if there were means by which you think you could improve the situation. I do want to tell you, though, that that particular corner, that area where, you know, you're right near McDonald's, you're right near the, well, you're near the food eateries that the Bonanza children go to. In that area, there are food eateries that they can attend.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman, that's a block and a half up. That's near the other hookah lounge that actually has.
Oh, that's the other hookah lounge?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
it
not
doesn't
me.
matter. And that same corner, okay, I'll take that. The hookah lounges are getting me caught in between. But in any case, the question is this appropriate in that area? I think it'd be very difficult for you to separate the supper club with the nightclub. I do not think the nightclub is appropriate at this time for that particular area.
If I may, can I comment on that? Or
That's up to the,
with your
Mayor.
permission?
I think you'd have to have all information, open collaboration, so you can understand clearly how you would proceed going forward, but what you see and your location, everything matters, so please.
Okay, I don't know if we could put the floor plan back up. If not, I have one right here. But basically, the nightclub is restricted to the bar area only. And the main reason for having
Do you want to point to that?
Certainly.
Where specifically, so we can see?
It's going to be in...
Can you turn the paper, please? Perfect.
better?
Yes, thank you.
Basically where the bar is on the left side of the screen, and there is a divider right over here where you guys can see that is going to be installed, which separates the restaurant area from the bar. There's going to be ample security to prevent minors to go in that area, of course. And the main only reason I am applying for a nightclub is to be able to have a live disc jockey so people can request songs. Yes, there is dancing, sometimes a lot, sometimes not a single person in 2-3 days in a row. Through the city business licensing, it is required to, if you have, let's say, belly dancers and stuff like that, or if you have stand-up comics, you do need a nightclub license, as there is no entertainment license. That's my main reason for getting that license. Also, I would like to make aware of the councilwoman and mayor and councilmen that there is a nightclub within less than 100 yards. It's called Club Charleston. They have a nightclub and pool hall. It's on the other side of the east of my location, right on the other side of AutoZone that does the same activity. So,
Do you have a map showing West Charleston there?
Could you
So you could point
tell
to it?
me, could you tell me what age a person has to be to go to a nightclub?
to a nightclub, 21.
What age?
21.
21?
Yeah,
And
and
what age do they have to go to the hookah?
18.
18. That's my concern. There's a way to drift from where the hookah is over to the other. We've already had questions and calls from residents about the fact that the teenagers were involved in something, and that's before you have the nightclub. And that's my concern at this time. I prefer going with the SUP for the supper club, seeing how that goes, seeing if we receive any more complaints before we move to the other. But that's what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
What you can do in the nightclub at 21, you cannot do, you have the 18-year-olds that are drifting over into the 21 area.
Previously, that would be correct because there was no alcohol license requiring a barrier. Since now there is a physical barrier as required by business licensing for a supper club, there's actually going to be additional security. Also, there will be wristbands. So there's going to be ID check at the front door to make sure you're over 18 once you want to order alcoholic beverage in the restaurant area with a meal, or if you do go into the bar, there will be a subsequent check, and there are neon wristbands that we are going to be using, and security is going to be increased. And one other thing I would like to state that during this whole time that even before I was open, I received from the city of Las Vegas a temporary nightclub license, and I haven't not been licensed for nightclub, doing nightclub activities. I just wanted to make that clear. I have 5 licenses in the city of Las Vegas just for one location, so I do everything the right way, and there are over a dozen other places that do the same thing, unlicensed. I'm just trying to take the right route. I'm not going to open up something, run it until, I get caught like other people do, some in the city.
And I know you've worked very hard on that.
Yes.
It's just that I know that area very well. I know the people involved. I know the people who have, some of the people who have complained, and I've checked on that too. Do you have a health department approval yet?
I've had the health department approval.
But I mean a health department approval on the nightclub, supper club combination and the food and the liquor balance.
I spoke to Paul Klaus and Victoria Wilson yesterday at 8:30 in the morning. They wanted to send you guys an email. I was actually just notified this morning that I should be here a lot sooner than 1 p.m. as scheduled. So they haven't had their director had time to go over the email to send to you guys, but they said they've seen the same situation as what I'm trying to do, minus the nightclub, because the health department doesn't have a say saying that it's not health related. But they did tell me that that they see no issues with that.
Well, my understanding is there might be some issues, and I had a conversation yesterday with someone from the health department, and if it goes okay with the health department, you can come back. If you withdraw without prejudice, you can come back. But I just want to make sure that in a place like this, that so makes it vulnerable for an attraction for youngsters that hang around there, I just would like to make the motion and ask for a vote on denying the nightclub part of it, with giving you the opportunity to, well, I wouldn't deny it. If you make if you agree to take it off the record and you agree to do it without prejudice, and I would agree to that, but then you could come back and then we could have more record from the health department, and we could perhaps go into that further.
Would I possibly be able to ask for extension of time to have it abated while I do the research instead of fully withdrawing it? Would that be all right? So I would have to refile and resubmit everything. I could just provide additional paperwork if need be.
Well, let me just add some questions down here. Excuse me.
If I may, Mayor, through you.
Councilman Ross.
Then Attorney Dervick.
Okay. Councilman Ross, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman. And I fully understand Councilwoman's concerns here, so kind of bear with me. Ms. Dedelson, would you come to the microphone with the Mayor's permission, please? I want to ask you a couple of questions about our licensing requirements. What's your name again, sir?
Sarkis.
Mr. Sarkis?
Yes.
Mr. Sarkis, you don't want a nightclub. You just want to have a live DJ, and our codes require any kind of live entertainment to be classified as a nightclub. Is that correct?
Correct.
Let me confirm that with Ms. Dedelson.
Your Honor, Karen Dedelston, Business Licensing Manager. Under a supper club, you can have some limited entertainment for diners. What this gentleman is proposing to do is our officers have been out there, is in the bar area is physically have a nightclub where they have dancing, they have full entertainment. It is a DJ, but it is a nightclub type environment. Our concern when you look at a floor plan like this, a supper club is a restaurant that also serves alcohol. It may have a separated location where someone could come in and sit down and have simply a drink without having that meal. That's the lounge area. Supper Club is primarily restaurant. If you look at this, the lounge area is as large as the restaurant. So in our Supper Club license, we do have a requirement that 55% of the revenue has to come from meals. We're trying to not have it be a tavern. Our concern when we look at this with the size of these locations is with a nightclub and a lounge of this size, are we then creating a tavern, and is that the appropriate license? Or is this truly a supper club that wants to have some limited entertainment for the enjoyment of the diners? That's the issue from a licensing operation perspective. We don't like to see folks set up for failure when they have a license that has a requirement that it is 55% food sales.
Mr. Sarkis, you are aware of that?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Okay.
Before
And what
I-
would be the
I-
difference in the licensure at that point were it deemed a tavern?
If it's over 55%, then he would have to apply for a tavern license. That's what a tavern is. A tavern may have a restaurant in there, but it is a tavern. It does not have the food sales requirements. It is for nightclubs. It is for other types of venues. Our hotels have them. They may be a sports bar, something like that, where it is about the entertainment. It is about enjoying that lounge-type environment, and they also may have a restaurant there. Is it a restaurant with some alcohol, or is it a bar with a restaurant?
And what is the cost differential of those two licenses,
As
please?
Supper Club is $40,000, and like I said, it does have limitations that go with that in the food sales and those sorts of things. And a tavern, which does not have those limitations, is $75,000. There's also gaming attached to those two licenses, the opportunity for gaming
But
slot
at this
machines.
point, you have no interest in gaming?
In the future, I have, for this location, I have no interest in gaming.
Okay, I'm sorry, Councilman,
That's
please
okay.
go
No, Mayor,
ahead.
Thank you. And through the mayor again, Ms. Delson, if he does not if he withdraws or we deny his request for a supper club, he still has a bar area. Am I correct?
A lounge area, yes.
Or a lounge area. So 18-year-olds are the only ones allowed in the hookah lounge to begin with, and only 21-year-olds can go into the bar area or the lounge area.
Correct.
That's the law. And so regardless if you have that supper club license or not, you still have what Councilwoman Tarkanian is concerned about, the opportunity for 18, 19, 20-year-olds to get into your bar to receive alcohol. So I think that's Councilwoman's major concern. You still have that bar area or lounge area that kids can get into.
Madam Mayor, if I might just interject for a moment.
Thank you, please,
Councilman
Mr.
Rossi
Peck.
is not currently approved for alcohol sales at this location. Alcohol sales would be a special use permit. By virtue of approving the special use permit for the supper club, that does allow alcohol in conjunction with meals.
Does
But
or
I just wanna
does
make
not,
it-
please? Does.
Does. I just want to make it clear that separately and alone, he does not have approval for alcohol sales there
Okay.
at the bar.
Let me ask this, Mayor, if I may, with your permission. Ms. Delson, he mentioned something about a temporary nightclub license. We issued him a temporary nightclub license. That's my question. Mr.
Yes, he does have a temporary nightclub license. It went through the process and what was approved as a temporary, and then an SUP was required to be brought back.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Sarkis. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually, that was issued about 2 months and 6 days before my grand opening.
Okay. And you have other locations? in town?
Not in the state, no. I've been doing this for 13 years. I've opened up 5 lounges and managed 8
In Los
in Los Angeles area, California.
Okay. With your permission, Mayor, Ms. Delson, you do a background on applicants like this and review, I mean, Councilwoman has a whole list of infractions, or it sounds like, or communications of complaints.
He currently does not have any license that would require a privilege license, so there has been no background checks. That would come with the supper club license, which allows alcohol.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Dedelson.
Thank you. Any other questions, comment, council? Any comments? Nothing? Okay, Councilwoman, is that in the form of you were asking, would he like to withdraw, correct?
Yes. Now, one thing has come up, however. Is he trying to piece together licenses? Is this a problem?
That is truly a policy issue, and we have raised our concern about trying to piece these licenses on what is a tavern and what is a tavern environment, and we believe operationally that goes well with a nightclub. That's where you have dancing, that's where you have entertainment. A supper club, the way the code is written, is truly about a restaurant that wants to have alcohol and wants to have a lounge area for adults. So it has always been limited in its entertainment. One of the issues when we've gone out here is that they have had dancing, they have had that nightclub type of environment, and now they want to add alcohol.
So we now, I have great reluctance in having a nightclub there. I will obey it, but I'd like to obey it. I'd like to see how the supper club works, which is this license for what you have, before we bring up this again. So I would like to give 6 months for that, and then he can take, if he removes this with non-prejudice, then he could bring it back after 6 months.
Councilwoman, can I make a recommendation, just as an idea?
I have to tell you, your recommendations are highly sought, yes.
Make me blush.
Councilwoman Ross, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mayor. With your permission, if he has to go through the whole process again, I would suggest tabling this item. So, and then tabling we can bring back at any time, if I'm correct, Mr.
That's correct. What I would suggest, because sometimes these tabled items get lost, table it not to exceed 6 months. And if there's some solution or some new information that comes up in less than 6 months, then the council can pull it back in a less period of time and react to it.
And if he hasn't
But I want
satisfied-
at least 6 months to be able to say, and
And then
by the
only-
way, are you Armenian?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Ah, well then, you see, I can go there
She's
and
going to
bring
change
my...
her whole vote on this. The motion is going to change immediately.
I will bring my whole family there, including my husband. He'll love your food. But in any case, then we could table it for, I would like it not less than 6 months. And that
Would
that
there be a way to look at it a little bit sooner with more information?
I don't think it gives me enough time to be able to go there and see how it's going. I have that great concern.
I could send an invitation.
You can send an invitation, okay? But I would like to leave the motion as is.
Madam Mayor, if I might
thought
just
I made it.
jump in for a
Mr. Fang,
moment.
please.
Per the code, a tabled item must be brought back within 6 months, otherwise the application dies. So if you do table the item again, we have to bring it back within 6 months. If we hold the item in abeyance, you can hold it to a date certain and bring it back at that point in time. So that's the difference
I'm
between
just,
the
if
two
it's
types
all
of
right with the
motions.
attorney, I just hold it, obey it until 6 months, and then I'll leave Beverly to figure out what day that is.
That's fine.
That's December the
It's your
4th.
motion.
December 4th, and I would do that. That gives us a chance to see what you do with the one license, gives us a chance to see how that works out, and a chance to see if we have youngsters wandering from the hookah over to the liquor.
No problem.
All right? That was my motion, to obey for 6 months.
Okay, there's a motion. And please vote. And please post. The motion carries. So we'll see you in 6 months, hopefully.
you.
have
Have
a
a wonderful
perfect
day. Inch
operation.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Duddleston. And we will move on to item number 70. I would instruct the city clerk to set the public hearing dates and appeals from the City Planning Commission meetings and dangerous building or nuisance litter abatements. Thank you. And we will move on to item number 71. Citizen participation, public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council. No subject may be acted upon by the City Council unless that subject's on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on a single item, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak under this portion of the agenda? Please come forward.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. My name is Anthony Hodges. Today is very important to me because I was over at the school a couple of days ago. Children is very important for the whole world. They become, see, they're little babies for a while and then they grow up quick, you know. We seem to forget that children don't stay babies long. They bounce up, you know. They go from toddler walking to 200 and something, whatever, you know. What I'm saying, we forget that they constantly grow up. And so education is very important. In our country, we're leading the world at one time, and now we're falling further and further behind. Our children have access to the greatest educational system on the planet, but they don't want to go to school. And a teacher can only teach it the child want to learn, and if the parents doesn't push the kid, what I'm trying to say is that our children today is caught in a vice. We're in fast-moving times. They got all them little gadgets they can play with, and they lose all interest in school. The parents ain't got time for them. The teachers, some of the teachers teach for their salary and not necessarily for the good of the kids, and then some classes are overcrowded. So the teacher that wants to teach can't get to the kids anyway. So what we got here is a bad situation getting worse. The education is one of the most important things on the planet. And so I don't need to explain that, but the objective is our children is caught in modernization type all these gadgets and the lack of someone pushing them. Because the education, you got children that will walk 10 miles to go to school in some parts of the world where they know how valuable it is. In fact, most of our doctors and everything nowadays are coming from foreign countries. When I was over at UMC, most of those doctors were from India, and most of them was women. So what I'm trying to say now, somebody need to get their act together. Education is important. It's the backbone of our life. And a teacher can only teach so much, but then the student has to come to school willing to want to learn. And then children nowadays, they want a quick education and want to play with their gas. But see, math and science, these things are very important in life, especially going forward, because in the future, people got to compete with robotics, you know, machines. What I'm trying to say, the future children have got to really get on the ball or be left behind. So that's all I want to say is that thank you for letting me come and have a word with you.
Thank you. We appreciate it and agree with what you said.
And I thank you very much. But education is number one. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else wishing to speak, please state your name.
Your Honor, before Anthony...
Councilman Coffin?
Yeah, if I could, before Anthony leaves the podium, I just wanted to say we wish best wishes to you and Annie, your wife, and hope that she has a recovery here that could be possible. We do not know her condition. We just know that it's not well. So, Anthony, we wish you both the very best.
Thank you, Councilman. And Council and Mayor and all. She is in pretty bad shape, and they're constantly looking after her. But she won't exercise. She walks from the bedroom to the living room. So that's it. That's her daily exercise. The neighbors, everybody trying to get her out of the house. When she leaves the house, she wants to go get in the car. Well, hey, that ain't no exercise. Thank you.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Good afternoon, Dorothy Barnes. I'm here today because I am distressed with the drug industry here. I've asked to put a curtail on the illegal drug sale at my expense. I've been used to sponsor people into selling illegal drugs. People are feeding off me constantly. This month I'll turn 56, you know, growing old with grace, hitting the golden 50s. And I have asked them because the children and older people and disabled people are living around these drugs. And when I see on the news people killing their own kids and stuff, I wonder if they was on drugs. Just recently I see where a man shot his whole family and shot himself up. So I'm wondering if they on these drugs that I'm trying to put a curtail on, because my life is constantly put on the line. I know law enforcement, their backs are up against the wall, well, so is mine. So we all in this thing together. I don't want to be used to sponsor people into something that's killing them and their families and killing me in the process too, because they're stealing every penny. I'm being robbed without a gun or a knife. I told the lady at the bank, if they show up with guns and knife, they're doing a pretty good job of robbing me without a gun or a knife. And I want my name off of such a program, and Nellis Air Force Base is behind this thing. People are wandering in over there. Homeless people are traveling into this city, help victimizing me. I understand the economy bad. They need income. I have been displaced. I've been married twice, and I've been down without jobs. My health is getting bad. I don't victimize people to get income, to live off them. I don't devour people to live off their income. You steal income from them, what have we, stifling, what they call stifling off sickly disabled people, and gambling on my ticket. I know the police have ticketed some people. Maybe they did it out of innocence, didn't know no better, but it doesn't happen 2 or 3 times that they didn't know no better when they've been warned by law enforcement not to go on that military base over someone, invading my privacy. The military base, I went out there several times. Officers sent me out there, written up complaints at that front desk and asked them to let me over there to gain some control over this situation. They won't let me out there, but they'll allow people out there to victimize me. Now, I'm wondering if their people's minds are bad. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't have a degree in law enforcement or psychiatry, but I have people that's minds are bad. They've been warned not to, and they're just ignoring it. And is it because their minds are bad or they just don't care about what nobody tells them out of desperation to use me to sponsor the sale of illegal narcotics? And I'm asking for a curtail. If they can't let me on Nellis, I need some qualified, trained people to get some control over this situation that may possibly killing the people. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyone else, please come forward, state your name for the record.
Henry Thorns, Mayor Goodman, Mayor Commissioner Tarkanian, and all the commissioners. Appreciate you allowing me time to come up here and speak. I've been here 52 years, right here in Las Vegas. You know, what a great place to be. I love it. You know, growing up here was kind of hard, but then as I got into middle school, matter of fact, when I got into elementary school, that 6th grade center, that was my first 6th grade center. You know, it kind of changed my life. It kind of made me reach out into the mainstream and meet other race of peoples. You know, at one time we didn't know nothing but black and white. You know, as 6th grade went on, I went to the 7th grade, and I went to Hyde Park. And meantime, I went on to the 8th grade, and I went to Hyde Park where I met Miss Tarkanian and Ho-Ho family. What a great family. They've been a great family to me for a long time. You know, always will respect them and always will respect them, you know. Get my heart out to Mrs. Tarkanian and Mr. Tarkanian. But at the same time, you know, we was going through a war back there where black and white really wasn't all together, but we made a change. We made a change in those areas where everybody was one. You know, everybody was Las Vegas. And, you know, nowadays, you know, it seems like we going back to those other days before I got to elementary, because what I'm getting at, there's no jobs for people like me. There's no jobs for people with my color skin. And I'm not saying this because if you know me, you know I'm not a racist person, and you know I love everybody, you know. And my thing is, I've been running a youth program for 32 years. And I'm just here to tell you today, the community need help. You know, Las Vegas is changing. We're making a lot of moves for foreigners, which is true. The whole United States is built on foreigners. You know, we talk about, you know, having Spanish classes, English classes, but we barely don't know English ourselves, but we live in here in America. And my thing is, you know, I didn't want to get up here with this. It's just coming to my heart right now. You know, I've been, like I said, been here 52 years, and I'm asking the community, the commissioners, the mayor, to help. Reach back. Help the Dog Catcher Youth Foundation help you guys. Help the city of Las Vegas. We've been here 32 years. We've never done anything wrong to nobody. We've been saving lives. My son went to TCU. My son went to Virginia Tech. I done sent plenty kids to colleges, and I'll continue to deal with kids. I listened to a young lady right here with the school, with Rex Bell, all those kids I went to school with. Matt Kelly, I went to Matt Kelly. You know, here today, I am still working with those kids, they big brothers, they sisters, they mamas, they daddies. You know, I'm still changing them. But it's hard when you got 5 generations going to penitentiary. You know, and that's just what we're dealing with. You know, 5 uncles, granddaddy, uncles, granddaddy, everybody in penitentiary. All we need is jobs. You know, if we can reach out to every councilman, mayor out here to say, hey, you guys come to America and open up business, hire some Americans. Pretty soon, it ain't gonna be no Americans. It's gonna be all foreigners. The world is changing. It ain't gonna be you guys up there, it ain't gonna be me down here. It's gonna be foreigners, and we all that. But I'm just asking you to help the laws, help the dog catchers, help you guys. You know it's the summer, and it's gonna be tough out there, and we just trying to stop it. Help prevent it. Thank you.
And thank you for your help and service. We all agree. Thank you.
And you forgot to say,
Man, I just got here in time.
wait 1 second, he forgot to say what a great basketball player he was, and that they won the league that year. That's,
You know,
did a good
came
job.
under Jerry Tarkanian. I was a ball boy at UNLV. You know, I played football for UNLV. What my history is trickled down to all these other kids. You look at college today, you see dog catchers.
I will tell you, Mr. Thorne, too, my 3 sons went to Matt Kelly for 6th grade center, Hyde Park, and Clark High School. And they all live here, and they agree with what you're saying, and I know that we're all have to take our own responsibility for everything we do. So it's all of us together working, but each one of us first stepping forward themselves. So thank you for what you do. Thank you.
And Mayor, I was just thinking that group of people who are helping out, that Brian Knutson's putting together, the charity groups, he might want to contact Henry and just see if there's some way that you could work in with the groups that are working downtown. What is the name they call it? Well,
Call your office and get them, Brian.
all right, you call my office,
Okay.
and then we will get you the telephone number of Brian Knutson.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Now, you'll be proud of me, especially you, Mr. Ross. You'll be proud of me. All right.
Thank you. Next, please, anyone else? Thank you. Just in time.
Todd Farlow, 240 North 19th Street. 2 items. At the Neighborhood Association Summit meeting last night, the issue is, and I wish I could talk to David Riggleman, but trying to get neighborhood organizations is like herding cats. I've walked those neighborhoods for I don't know how many times, and getting everybody together on the same time at the same day is almost the impossibility. However, the Betty Bradley over there on Lindell, what they did, and you have to bear with me because I don't know nothing about computers, okay? But they get together on the internet some way. And I was wondering if there is some way of creating what they call a page or something like that, where the people can go to and put in their address or something and show them their neighborhood association. And then they have what they call post-it boards or something, where if one of the people in the neighborhood has a problem, they can put it on they can put it on there, and then once a month they all try and get together. It's kind of like the old-time conference calls on telephones, only they do it through the computers now. And if there's any way that could be, if the city could fund something like that, I just...
We do have on our website, but I'm going to ask Mr. Riggleman to respond if you heard the question, because I knew you had to leave for a minute.
I did hear it, Mayor. It sounds like, I'll be happy to talk with Todd after the meeting. It sounds like maybe a social media solution would work, maybe a Facebook page where everybody would be on it together.
I'm the last person to, I know absolutely nothing of what you're talking about.
But it's a great
I
way.
have a rotary dial phone, so there's where I am. Second thing is a request. The trails, by law, close up at 7 o'clock at night. And there's nobody but Mad Dogs and Englishmen and Councilman Barlow and I that go out there on the bikes during the day. Now, I'm certified and I have regular appointments with a psychologist, and Councilman Barlow's staff sends him out there for punishment. But for the rest of the world, you don't go on the trails until the sun goes down. And that's the time that they close them up. My request to the council would be to direct the marshals to respond as a complaint issue only. You know, not, if persons are riding the trails and they're not bothering anybody or anything just at night, then, you know, it's fine. Now, I ran this by Sheriff Gillespie, and I thought that they were closed down, or they did that because he was short of handed. And one of his people there says that absolutely not. He says he can respond. And the second thing, one of his staff members say that they, with everybody carrying cell phones, that the more eyes, ears, and cell phones they have out there, it is to his benefit. So, and I wondered, I would think that the marshals would say the same thing. But still, I mean, you can't, it's 7 o'clock, it's just getting right to be out on the trails, and that's when they close them up. And that's, I just do not think that's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will pass on your request. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Okay. Hearing none, we will close this item and move on to item number 72. And council member recognition. Comments made by individual city council members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the city council unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. Is there any member of the council who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda? Councilman Beers, you're on.
Mayor, it was 29 years ago today, I'm sorry, not today, this month, 29 years ago this month that we lost Meredith Wilson. And maybe not everyone appreciates Meredith Wilson quite like I do, but a lot of people do. There's a museum in Iowa that was a much bigger hit than the town in Mason City that built it ever intended. It was marvelous success. Meredith Wilson, best known for The Music Man, which starts June 12th at the Spring Mountain State Park. That's why I bring this up.
Wonderful.
One of my very favorite of the old musicals, and that will be running for most of the rest of the month. Spring Mountain Ranch State Park. It's also the start of the I'm Bored season, as we called it at my house when we had school-age children. It takes about a week, I think, for them to get bored. So I would suggest the Library District Summer Reading Program for all kids out there. The way this works is for every 5 books you read, you get a book buck, and you can spend book bucks at the used bookstore inside the library. If you get to 20 books, then they have some kind of vaguely described but apparently marvelous and larger prize, which depends on the age of the reader. So any library is participating over the summer, and you can get the details at lvccld.org. And that's all we have.
Well, and I would highly recommend, I know all of us with children over the years have always thought, well, what can they do over the summer without having to cost money to buy tickets to do something? And every child in every neighborhood that's responsible and of age can collect neighborhood children with their own parents' permission and the parents of the children and have activities and do something, and maybe at the end of doing that and having games and having reading time, and the parents might contribute with sandwiches or something. There's a way for each child not to sit there and say, I'm bored, there's nothing to do, what can I do besides watch TV or their handheld iPad or whatever they've got, and to be productive and say, what can I do that would be worthwhile? Oh, I see they have 3 4-year-old children 2 blocks away or 2 houses away from me. Maybe I could do something like that, to say nothing of the fact they could do trash pickup in the neighborhood for the homeowners association if they have one. But everything with the parents' permission and what can I do myself, rather than just keep asking and asking parents to find things for them to do. This is about creating and developing your brain and seeing how you can become productive. So I thank you for that, and I know that that's really important. I see a lot of ways children could help. We have a lot of seniors whose eyesight's failing, and they would love to have somebody come read to them every day. And as parents go to shop, maybe they can go to a next-door neighbor and get a shopping list and help someone who's infirmed. I mean, there's so many ways that children can be active over this summer without having to buy, spend, and go looking for things that cost money in this tough economy. So thank you, Councilman Beers. Councilman Ross.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that information, Councilman Beers. A lot of great things going on in the Valley. Likewise, this Saturday, June 8th at Tule Springs Park, Floydland Park at Tule Springs, it is our annual Fishing Derby Day. Fishing is free. No fishing license is required. I have partnered again with the Nevada Division of Wildlife. They will have free fishing poles to borrow out there. I will be running around the lakes helping kids put bait on their hooks. Troop
Worms?
555, yep.
Worms?
We're using corn.
Worms?
Using corn.
Corn.
Corn, yeah. Fish are biting on corn.
What kind of fish are biting?
Oh, there's still some trout out there, still not too, it's getting hot, but there's still a few trout and some bass, so looking forward to that. Troop 555 will be out there with us serving their famous $5 pancake breakfast, and Councilman Beers, this is right up your alley. It starts at 7, so we've got the Aspen Ridge Bluegrass Band coming out.
Wow.
So if you'd like to hear some bluegrass at the crack of dawn Saturday morning, come on out to Tule Springs Park. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, for the more serious side of things, in our continued partnership with Nevada Child Seekers, we do have a young lady who is missing. Desaya Jordan Dixon, or Dee Dee, is 15 years old. She's about 5'5", 118 pounds. She was last seen May 30th in the area of North Jones and West Washington Avenue. She was last seen wearing a hot pink, thin, strap dress, and she may be carrying her personal belongings in a tan with dark brown backpack. If anyone has any information leading to the whereabouts of this young lady, please contact Nevada Child Seekers at 702-458-7009 or the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, 702-828-3111. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Wow, what a lovely girl. Sad. And if you're out there, Desaya, please call home or call Child Seekers. Councilwoman Tarkanian, next, please.
Yes, I'd like to add to what Councilman Beers said as far as reading in the library, and the mayor also said about some of the other activities. They have a list from the library of 1,000 books that you can read to your child before first grade. And it's a marvelous list of some of the best children's books there are. There's Carl, that doesn't have a single word to it, just uses imagination. There's Are You My Mother, which also uses a great amount of imagination with a good vocabulary for children to pick up. So I would suggest, as you do all these other things, go to the library or call the library and get a copy of that list of books. I took it myself, and I'm using it with my youngest grandchild. So I think it's a marvelous thing to have, and our libraries are doing so much for us. Now, we're having a free movie in the park in Ward 1, June 7th, 7:30 p.m. at the West Charleston Lions Essex Circle Park, better known as the Circle Park. And we're going to show Hotel Transylvania. We'll have free popcorn and water while they last. We ask everyone to bring blankets and folding chairs, and we can have a good time there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Friday.
And
Friday.
Councilman Barlow, you're on.
Councilwoman, you just gave my family and I an opportunity to hang out in Ward 1 on Friday.
And then we can go Saturday and hang out in Ward 6 and
You know,
fish.
and my son just asked me, Councilman Ross, when I was going to take him fishing again, so I just may have to bait my line and come out there and throw some corn on the cob in the lake.
Come on out there with me. We'll have a blast.
What can I catch with corn on the cob?
Corn, you want the whole corn on the cob out there in the lake?
Yeah, the whole corn on the cob. You have anything out there that big? No, but we'll throw some corn on the hook and see what we come up with. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Mayor, Coffee with the Councilman. First Thursday of every month, I host Coffee with the Councilman at Starbucks at the corner of Bonanza and Rancho. And I will be there from approximately 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, the first Thursday of every month. So the community, of course, and the business community as well as residents are invited to come out and participate and
That's
have a
tomorrow.
conversation with me. And I do want to say this, that I really appreciate Mr. Farlow coming out, and he is so gracious. He allows everyone, just as he allows everyone to go first here at the council meeting, it's the same at Starbucks. He allows everyone to go first because he wants to be dead last. And so he does leave me with a big smile on my face with the information that he brings forward. So, Mr. Farlow, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. And, of course, the community want to thank all those who have come out in the past. And, of course, you're welcome to come out the first Thursday of every month with me, Coffee with the Councilman. Thank you.
That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Thank you. Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Mayor. Today is close to the anniversary of an important day, and I'd like to read a little essay submitted by a young man. Today, I'd like to honor Ernest James May, who was the first Las Vegas police officer to give his life in the line of duty 80 years ago on June 8, 1933. Officer May, a member of a prominent pioneer family, joined the Las Vegas Police Department in the early 30s at a time when Las Vegas was still a rough-and-tumble community. At that time, the city boasted 2 police cars, and the members of the police department could be counted on one hand. Uniforms were not worn in those days, and while radios were in existence, they were too expensive an item to be owned by the police force. When an officer was sent on a call, he knew in most cases he would have to handle it without help from other officers. On June 8, 1933, at approximately 7:45 in the evening, 2 unidentified men called the police station and reported that a drunken man was shooting wildly at the Clark Auto Court on South 5th Street. That now is Las Vegas Boulevard. Officer May, I'm sorry?
Does it sound like Tom Collins?
Oh, please. Officer May, better known as Ernie to his countless friends, was assigned to investigate the disturbance. His brother, Joe May, city constable, they must have been rough and tumble brothers. No wonder they had those jobs. He followed him to the motel a short time later, but not seeing the police car parked in view, he left. He returned to the motel after 2 women at the station reported that the proprietor of the motel had shot at them, inflicting several powder burns on the face of one of them. At the motel, Officer Joe May found the missing patrol car in front of the court. Closer inspection revealed the motel proprietor dead at the west end of the motel, and Officer Ernie May sprawled face down at the east end of the motel. His hand was still clutching his warm revolver. As the shooting was reconstructed by witnesses and the police, it appeared that Officer Ernie May had pulled his police car into the auto court, and as he climbed from the car, he was shot in the right breast by the motel proprietor. Although mortally wounded, Officer May emptied his revolver at his assassin, striking him 3 times. Both men died before help could reach them. It was later learned that the motel proprietor had been drinking heavily during the day and had made statements that he would kill the first officer to stop there. Unfortunately, Officer May was the first to arrive and died there at the age of 38, leaving a widow and 7 children, ranging in ages from 15 years to 6 weeks. And that was submitted by Jared Prisby, and Jared is the great-grandson of Ernie May. He lives in Utah. So that is a sad occasion, but it's also something to remind us that human behavior does not change, and officers are still the first in line for peril and the last to leave. Some other, on some upbeat notes here and activities that we're doing. First of all, I want to say thank you to our city staff. Tuesday evening, we had our first Neighborhood Association Summit in Ward 3. We actually conducted it here in the City Hall. So it was the first time we'd actually introduced association officers to city services and the how and why to get things. Now, they've had individual visitors at their neighborhood association meetings by our staff, but we never had everybody together to network and to learn from our staff. And it's a much better use of staff time if we can get the association officers to come to one place so that we have better staff contact with them. We think it went well. We learned a lot so that we can improve on it, and we'll have another one probably early in the fall, and that one we'll have more people attending, and we'll have, we had good food, by the way. I got to thank city staff for arranging for snacks for our attendees. Now then, also, Your Honor, I want to remind you to join me on Thursday, June 20th, as we dedicate Stupak Park. The groundbreaking ceremony, will be held on that day at 10 in the morning, and we're going to have a lot of fun over there right next to the Stupak Community Center on Boston near Industrial Road. On June 28th, you're all welcome to come over to our Movie in the Park, our second one of the season. This one is Cowboys and Aliens, And it's a great movie of the kind of the Wild West meets Space Age. And with Harrison Ford, Daniel Craig. Now, I have special pride in this movie because while it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of a unique twist, my son and his partner, girlfriend, worked as the Grips on this movie. They filmed it for 3 months in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And so they did all the lighting on the movie. So I'm very proud of it. And we will raffle off a couple of official crew T-shirts at this movie. It's at Stewart Place Park, 4700 Shantee Way, at the corner of Marion and Shantee. That's very close to Charleston Boulevard. And then our last announcement of the day, Your Honor, is that we invite everybody to come July 20th to our pool party, and that will be over at the family pool at Gary Reese Freedom Park, the Carlos L. Martinez and Dario J. Hall pool. And we'll have popsicles, slushy, bottled water. We probably ought to provide some sunscreen for these people, too. We will have, as we did last year, the council member will be forced to jump in fully clothed in order that he dedicates that day. So I will, of course, make that appearance, and I will get wet. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
That's wonderful. You mentioned sunscreen. I heard yesterday on the national news that if you apply it forever, you will not only when you're going in the sun, but it will prevent your aging. So how do we know what's going on in the world? But that's what they reported, that sunscreen applied every single day with some liberalness will keep the wrinkles away and keep you youthful. So anyway, everybody come out to that park to watch our wonderful Councilman Coffin jump in last year. He did it with his Bermudas and hat, as I recall. And our communications director, Mr. Riggleman, and staff, and our TV program did some great film coverage of the event. So hopefully it's as exciting. And so in closing things down here, I just want you to know, after 34 years, our tortoises have laid eggs. 3 tortoises. One of them has laid, I guess you call them a hatch. I don't know what you call tortoise eggs. So we're watching. And I'm assuming with the number, we may have as many as 50 little tiny tortoises. It's going to be very interesting. Very exciting, too. We are so proud the city of Las Vegas is the host this year, United States Conference of Mayors, which will be June 21 to June 24, with a host center of Mandalay Bay. But they will be coming downtown. There are 800 signed up on the Conference of Mayors this year, and those are cities of 30,000 or more. So it really is a great honor for the city to be able to host these mayors and the conference that they'll be attending. Our next city council meeting is Wednesday, June 19th, and in council chambers at 9. And one last exciting note that I have, I was thrilled with certainly with the huge support of our staff and our lobbyists for the city. We were up in Carson City with Nicolas Cage trying to bring the film industry here. And Mr. Cage has moved into Nevada and wants to make sure that filming is ongoing here, as was Casino and episodes of Hangover, and just recently Hangover 3, our CSI events that go on here. There's so much opportunity for us, and it's awaiting the governor's signature. It has passed both the Assembly and the Senate, and we're really excited, but it was with huge effort from our city staff, and Betsy Fretwell and Ted Olivas and our lobbyists. I mean, just a great effort, and it's very exciting because certainly this community needs to be diversifying itself, and what a great industry to find ourselves open-armed to. So with those little announcements,
Mayor?
Yes.
May
Where
I
are you?
make
Yes.
just one quick announcement? That
Yes.
next month, our council meetings will be on different weeks than they ordinarily are because of the July 4th holiday. So we'll be having the meetings on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of the month instead of the 1st and 3rd. So just wanted to make sure that everybody starts thinking about that, and at the meeting on the 19th, we'll mention that.
Okay, and then again, I'm sure that's posted on our website, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that is really important. And, all right, so now we will move on to agenda item number 73. And that is our next item, is that we will be going into closed session for an update on labor negotiations. No motion is required, and following the closed-door session, the council meeting will be adjourned, and we thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Farlow. And hopefully, I saw you speak with Mr. Riggleman, so I'm sure you have the information, and he's going to sign you up for technology classes. Thank you all, and staff, thank you very much. So are we going to be having closed session down here and back? Thank you very much. And thank you, Ms. Bridges.